Hi, Austin Hope here. Today I want to talk to you about Treana Red. This is a very special wine for a lot of reasons, actually. It was one of the first wines that I worked on. We started this in 1996. My family's been farming wine grapes in Paso Robles area since 1978, and it was really our first real adventure into the winemaking scene. And we felt that we could create a red blend that could rival the North Coast and the world for that matter, with making a high quality red blend in Paso Robles. This wine started out the 96 vintage was actually multiple varieties, which I don't know a lot of people know. So it was Cabernet, it was Syrah, it was Mourvèdre, Petit Syrah, and Sangiovese, and Merlot. So it was a kind of a hodgepodge at the beginning, but it was always Cabernet driven because that's what we do so well in Paso Robles. So it's a pretty exciting wine, and and the other thing that was kind of groundbreaking too in Paso was it was one of the first wines to actually blend Cabernet and Syrah together. There's not really that many places in the world that do that outside of Australia. And to me, Cabernet and Syrah pair really well. Cabernet typically will have a lot of richness and a lot of flavor up front, and whereas Syrah has always been kind of a mid-palate wine for me. It's like goes right across the mid-palate, and it just gets this nice gushing of fruit right in the middle of the palate. So it's pretty cool. So today we're going to taste the 2016 Treana Red, and the 2016 Treana Red is and it started I guess about probably 8-9 years ago. We started just making it was just Cabernet and Syrah. We've dropped all the other varieties, and funny enough, Sangiovese dropped off immediately. We only did one vintage with Sangiovese. We'd been growing it, testing it here, and we couldn't make it taste. We had one good year, 96. It was the first year that we put it in the blend. We're like, wow, this is amazing. And then we grew it for the next 3 or 4 years, and we could not get Sangiovese to taste great again. It was the weirdest damn thing I've ever seen. So the chainsaws came out, and away Sangiovese went, sadly enough, because I do love Sangiovese when it's grown in the right spot, but apparently this wasn't the right spot. So today we're 75% Cabernet, 25% Syrah. The wine ages amazing. We're still drinking the 96 vintage now. And if anybody doesn't know what Triana stands for, so Triana actually is a Spanish word, and it means a trio of natural elements. And the three elements that we find to be so important for the Paso Robles region is the maritime influence that we get from the ocean, because we're only about 15 to 20 miles from the ocean, so we get a tremendous amount of influence from the ocean on a daily basis. The soils here are extremely unique. Very few places in the world have the same soils that we have, and this proximity to the ocean. And then obviously the last thing being that we have amazing sunshine here. Being in California, we always are able to get ripe. We don't ever get threats of weather, typically in the fall when we're getting ready to harvest. So it's a very ideal place to be growing red varietal grapes. So the sea, sun, and soil, Triana. So let's give it a go. I think of all the wines we make, Triana to me has always been extremely elegant. It's like I don't know. It just makes you want to. If you're a woman, put a gown on. If you're a man, put a suit or a tuxedo on and go out and have just a very elegant evening. That's But then again, the wine can be drunk by the pool, or the back of a pickup truck with a charcuterie board. It's a pretty cool wine. A lot of violets come to me in the nose, which it's very inviting wine when you smell it. I love this wine. I fall in love with this wine every time I taste it, and it's just the marriage of Cabernet and Syrah. They work so good together. They're two varieties that you wouldn't think about blending together in a conventional type of winemaking, but they do. They work so well. from the the prettiness of the Cabernet in the beginning and the Syrah, and then when they finish together, it's just a dynamite wine. I love people don't talk about the foods a lot, but I'll tell you what's really cool about this wine is it'll pair with a lot of different foods, but I love it with like, especially in the winter time, it's fun to like do like roasts, those the old school days when they used to always make roasts, which we're trying to bring it back as a family. We enjoy doing those, put carrots and celery and all these different vegetables into like a Dutch oven, and then put some sort of a roast in there, whether it be beef, pork, lamb. And then it comes together and a potpourri of flavors and smells, and this wine always does well with that. So Treana Red is a special wine, but not just for special occasions. This is a great bottle of wine. So here's to you. Enjoy.